One of the highlights of 1 Corinthians chapter 7 was when Paul shares about purity, marriage, and our bodies. Here's some background. Paul is challenging his readers to flee from sexual immorality. He then writes about the need for purity and about the benefits of marriage. Here's what Paul says in 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 4. The wife does not have authority over her own body, but the husband does. And likewise, the husband does not have authority over his own body, but the wife does. So the wife's body belongs to her husband, and the husband's body belongs to his wife. The bottom line here is that our bodies belong not only to God, but also to our spouse. Thus, we're called to be faithful to our spouse, and to have eyes for our spouse only. In addition, we're called to value our spouse's body, and to cherish it, and affirm it. Furthermore, we're each called to be good stewards of our body, because it belongs to God, and it belongs to our spouse. Out of love for our spouse, we need to give our spouse our best, and to do everything we can to maintain good health. For those who are single, a believer's faithfulness needs to begin prior to marriage. We're each called to save our body for our future spouse, if God has a future spouse in His plan for us. A single believer's body belongs to God and to one's future spouse. Thus, we're not to give ourselves to someone who we're not married to, because we'd be taking something away from our future spouse. And we're not to have physical intimacy with someone else, because that person belongs to God and to that person's future spouse. Whether married or single, if we've messed up in any way, either in our past or in our thoughts, we can ask God for forgiveness, receive cleansing, and purpose to remain faithful moving forward. In reflection, for those of us who are married, are we recognizing our spouse's ownership over our bodies? Are we being faithful to our spouse, even in our thoughts? Are we delighting in our spouse? Are we cherishing and affirming our spouse's body? Are we being good stewards of our own body? And for those who are single, are you saving yourself for marriage? Are you purposing to walk in purity? Are you being a good steward of your own body because it belongs to God and to your future spouse? May God help us walk in purity as we purpose to honor God and our spouse or future spouse. Thanks for listening.